Hey Aries, it's Pisces season, getting closer to your season, but still far enough away right now to not think about it too much, even though you're probably very excited about it to an extent. I think some of you are more excited than others. Some of you are just slowly coming out of this period though. There are a lot of you who are coming out of a period of being so easily swayed to the part of you that can get really gung-ho about something. You think you're gung-ho about it, but really you're just trying to control it. So you feel like your opposite sign, Libra, does, is get in your head about it and think about it and only do for that thing, that one thing. And right now you're coming out of that period. In this season, you will feel more exposure to the side of you. Again, it's been heavy. It's been quite a time, more and more. I think everyone, regardless of how empathetic you think you are, is starting to feel it more and more. And so this sunshine, this brightness doesn't feel real at first, but then coming into Pisces season, it's actually like this nice space for you to kind of settle down for a moment, to make some room and to make some easy cuts. I don't think the sun can expose a lot. You can be exposed to a lot of things right now. And I think most importantly, it's about what you're being exposed to is about making really easy, decisive decisions about what needs to stay, what needs to go come your season. So for some people, it's going to be really gray, but for you, it doesn't have to be black and white. It just becomes extremely clear. And even if it hurts, even if it feels not the best, or if it's, it's how you handle it. It's how you decide to move forward with this. For some of you, it's about a Leo, but we'll get into that into the second part. The second part will be in a link below on Patreon that will come out every month. And what you need is a break from the logic. You need to allow yourself to be, right from Aquarius season to Pisces season, to be able to be in your heart and use that as logic, because whatever worked for you before isn't working now. And this is Pisces season, a culmination of a huge year, a huge couple years, but especially this past year. And it's only becoming more murky. The lines are only becoming less clear, but for you, they're becoming more clear. And that's because you also need to give yourself the rest that you need. I think making these decisions and making these cuts is going to give you the rest that you need almost immediately, and that's what you need to learn to trust more. That's you're being asked to trust more, because Taurus season is coming. It's already like, hey, I'm after you. But this is just more about being able to be rest assured that this is what you want. This is what you see. A lot of people, this feels very much like Virgo came up in the first two readings really strongly, or the Hangman. And that's from Virgo season until now, which is, Pisces opposition. So we were asked, and everyone's asked in a different way in Virgo season to look to the future. And now we're at that Pisces mark, that we're almost back to Virgo season, that halfway mark back there. And we're talking long term. So long term things, even if they repeat themselves, are things that may come up during these times, because what's very apparent, Empress, 10 of Cups, Chariot, then 5 of Cups, is that whatever is holding you back, or whatever is trying to reveal itself, is really important to moving on. So we have the 3 of Swords, and then we come all the way to the 5. Some of you are maybe grieving too, and it's important to allow yourself to process that differently each time if you need to. It's about processing what has happened through what you're doing now. through how you're approaching life right now, and you have long term on the mind, and you've had that there for a while, but now you're willing to acknowledge it with the Empress energy, where you're like, I'm finally good. I'm not taking anything less than what I deserve. And there could be someone in your life that really helps show you that to you as well. But I feel like you're adopting this understanding that if you want this fulfillment, or whatever fulfillment means to you, you need to be willing to see what you're being exposed to and allow yourself to go through the change before you get to your season, and that vulnerability. And through that time and through that motion, here's like the steps, like those seem big, but then this is what happens. It becomes extremely clear to you. Your belief, what answers come to you, what solutions come, and you become very strong in those. Solid. You maybe even find that when you meet someone, it sounds like a book, but like when you may meet someone along the way, or you may run into someone who is extremely intuitive, and has very strong boundaries, and that you bring that back to yourself, and you're asking yourself, well, I know that I have these boundaries, but where are they not being enforced, and where is it causing an energy leak? Because when you're not enforcing boundaries that you know are good for you, or in giving yourself the needs that your everyday needs, the needs that you need to feel comfortable in the position that you're in, even if you're uncomfortable, it's only so that you can continue to fill what you have and what's already right in front of you, because the next thing is being prepared and on its way. So you're going to be given more opportunities, and they're going to be more presented to you. These opportunities will be presented to you in the form of the physical, but it's also going to have this you questioning Venus in Capricorn, having the Devil be the last card, and from going from last month to this month, I do think that whatever has constrained you up until now it's no longer constraining anymore. But you find that this shift in perspective is like, it's an opportunity to really live into the changes that you're making, really live into the change that you're becoming, and being grateful for what you receive now and what comes your way now, but no less grateful than what you already have and what you have had. There's no struggle between that. There's no, I'll feel this way when I have this. Hold on. There's no struggle between that part of yourself that is very capable of understanding that dynamic this month is not going to work. That dynamic of, I'll be more grateful when I have this, or I'll be even more this when this happens. It's like, no, you have to, this month especially, control these as much as Pisces season wants you to dream big and have your desires and understand what is actually possible for you. It's also asking you to control them to an extent. What is the discipline needed to get there? Because then that's the next proper action when your season comes around. You'll be making small steps towards a larger goal, but yet also achieving this goal at the same time. And it's, how can you be grateful in this moment for the goal that you're achieving at this time, and when your season comes, yet also being excited for this whole next evolution that you already see happening. So there's something about like this beginning on a couple different levels for you, and you learning how to be present, but also be understanding that your present decisions cause major effect for your future opportunities and your future moments and what's to come. So it's really important that you find a way to enforce these boundaries, especially if it's like needing to clear your head or sit down and meditate every day or find space to feel what's happening, but also and be here and in the space that you're in and be in the body that you're in, the life that you're in, as well as seeing what you can do for what's to come. And it feels like a lot of work, but the truth is that you're needing to implement this aspect, or what's saying in the cards to implement this aspect in order to get this Empress, 10 of Cups, this family. For some of you, it could be marriage, or it could be building a family as well, because this is what I see. It could be both happening. It can make you grieve a former life or a former situation or someone or something that you thought was going to be more long-term than it was. And now this other thing that's in your life which is your present, right? And will be your future. But what's coming up is also this grievance at the same time. And what's interesting is it's about how you are. It's about how you act in the situation or this relationship now, as opposed to how you used to. And the receptivity that you're being given through this person. And also understanding that along the way, you'll gather what you need. Nothing's gonna you don't have everything all at once when you're taking this next step. You have everything you need now. And then God in life is like, okay, you'll get what you need along the way, but you have more than enough than what you need now. So it's time to like keep going and keep doing this and take this next like step of feeling vulnerable and being in yourself, and also stating what you need and not being afraid of saying, I know I give so much, I have given so much in this way, but I need to pull back and I can give more on this way, and maybe compromising to a certain extent. And it could be as well with a job that you need to learn to do that as well. And in the beginning of the month, you're going to be shown certain clarities, and you'll go through it, and it may feel weird and awkward at first. By the end of the month, and it's going to be extremely clear to you, like not only who you know who you are, but like more of who you are. You've been wanting to see the side of you for a while. There's this part of you that's like, it's been clear that you want to either give more of yourself or be given an opportunity to share what you know or enhance what you know, or even take time with what you know to create something new or create something tangible or physical that you can then, it's not like a restraint of time. It's more of like you put something together, made it a physical product, or made it something people can see, read, feel, hear, and it's now has not as much power over you. Because sometimes when we don't know what we're destined for, I know that sounds crazy, but like when you don't know what you're destined for, you don't know exactly what your purpose is, or you don't know how to begin that journey, or what that even looks like, or what that even means, there's something I feel like that we can yearn for. You know, some people are meant to be mothers, some people are meant to be people who listen or talk to other people, some people are meant to create businesses or projects or art. And to an extent, I believe it's all art, though we're always going to feel, there's always the sense of, when you find that, especially for you guys, when you find that thing, you'll know. But it's not always about finding the thing, it's also about how you get there, and you understand that. But there's a particular moment where either this month you become unsure or unaware of, or need to be reminded of that every time you build something, create something, and let it go, it's going to keep bringing you to what exactly is that you're wanting to go towards. It's going, like the universe or God will constantly try to bring that thing or that career, that person that you're meant to meet it will slowly begin to orbit you more and more the more that you follow what it is that you know you need. And this month, you're going to know what you need, and you're going to take the steps accordingly, even if you have to move on from something that you thought was going to be long term, even if it's just a break for now. You can call it that, but then be honest with yourself. If you're unsure, give yourself a couple months to ponder, let yourself come back together. Sometimes creative space is needed, and maybe that's what's needed right now in order. There's just so much going on that you need space from certain things for like a month. All right, I'll get back to it next month, and just write it down. And know that it's okay. You don't have to work on something again every day and be so focused on this thing in order for something to grow. Sometimes in order to create something new, you need to focus on something else and let that lay dormant. Hello, winter. So once spring comes, it'll feel different. By the end of your season, it'll feel different, but right now you're going through that process, that differentiating, that allowance, being here, understanding that this is a beautiful place to be, but also knowing that there's still so much more growth to come. And you're going to be exposed to very clear lines this month. And that's weird for Pisces season, but that's actually a great thing, is because there's something healing deeply within you. And I think we'll get into that next month. So this is the first part of your reading. The second part will be in a Patreon link below, where we look at the cards and go through it even more. And information to work with me one-on-one is below as well. And I'll see you next month, Aries. Happy birthday to those of you who have a birthday at the end of this month as well.